So, Plaidman here. What we're going to talk about today is pollution. And it's a super contemporary thing. Lots of people are like, there's so much pollution. You get people who are in the super minimalist area and they're like, oh my God, everything is pollution. And then there's like other people who are like, fuck the world, I don't care. I'm going to like take my styrofoam cup and just throw it outside, not even in the trash, just throw it outside. And everywhere in between. So, fuck all that. This is bullshit. What the fuck? Okay? Everyone in this whole quadrant is fucking stupid. We live in a world where we consume things. This is what we do. This is what we've done since the beginning of time. Okay? If you take the amount of war, just war that we've had millions of human beings die. And tens of millions, hundreds of millions of swords, arrows, armor, all this stuff. And what happens? What happens to all these things? They disintegrate. They go into the ground. Like when people die and the armor doesn't get picked up and recycled, it eventually goes back into earth. So fun fact, Mother Nature is the penultimate of recycle. All right? We're finding oil in quadrants of the earth that was never before discovered. And this isn't fucking, oh, hey, dinosaurs have suddenly died in that area and we just discovered it. No. This is Mother Nature being like, cool, I'm just recycling this stuff, and oil is a component of that, crude oil, and then you humans use this shit, and then, okay, fine, whatever. So get this. Fun factoid. If you consume a thing, let's say this can, all right, which used to be peanuts, 6 grams of protein, peanuts. All right, so let's say you consume all the peanuts in this thing. As you can see, they have been consumed. Well, what happens to the peanuts? Well, as a human body, you consume them and then you shit them out, right? Fun fact, that's just what happens. When you drink water or Gatorade or whatever you're going to do, you consume it and then you poop it out or pee it out or what have you. The things that you don't use. But your body uses it. Good. So now what do you do with this can? Okay, well currently what happens is maybe, just maybe, about 10% of this can will get recycled. 10%. I'm guesstimating. It might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less. But let's say, let's be generous and say 25% of this can will be recycled. Well, that's a load of fucking malarkey. What happens to the other fucking 75% of this can? I'll tell you what, it just goes into a ditch in the middle of fucking nowhere, and then eventually Mother Nature does the recycling. So, on the whole, humankind has basically been extremely conservative and smart about its recycling. And I think that's a predominantly contemporary culture thing. So in times gone by, not only did we have less, well, we didn't have plastic, which would be this lid. We didn't have plastic, and we didn't have fucking aluminum. So we had other things like brass, steel, gold, silver, stuff like that, which already we found in nature, and then naturally once we use it, if it just disintegrates into the ground, disintegrates as in whatever, then it's not a big deal. It's just going back in the ground. It's kind of like a weird circle. It just takes a while. But because we have things like this plastic and this aluminum, which are things that we as humankind have taken components, did some fancy ass shit, and now we have these two objects, well, what do? This show is about solutions, okay? So my solution to the whole universal recycling issue, so something that the total left wing, like extreme, I'm gonna be a minimalist, I'm gonna have only glass jars, I'm only gonna do this, I'm only blah blah blah, and then the total other end of the spectrum, right wing if you will, or just idiots, where they're like, oh, I don't care, styrofoam, everything, fuck it, whatever. Okay, and just so you know, I'm not a fan of styrofoam. I think styrofoam, in the grand scheme of things, it's one of those like minusculely different as far as expenses go, but tremendously different as far as environmental awareness goes. So I actually applaud when companies or states or cities are like, fuck styrofoam. Because realistically speaking, unless you do the plan I'm suggesting, styrofoam is super detrimental to the environment. It takes Mother Earth tens of thousands of years to fucking destroy that shit. So us building this thing that is basically like giving a fuck you to Mother Earth. And that's not cool. Like, hey, Mother Earth is on our side. We need to give her as much support as possible. That's my viewpoint. So, okay. What's the solution that everyone should be able to get behind? Burn it. 100% burn it. I don't care if it's an old destroyer that the American Navy is like, we're down with this, let's get rid of it, or if it's a fucking tire, or if it's this little plastic cup, or lid, rather. Burn it. Here's the reason. Because Mother Nature takes X amount of time to disintegrate and basically reassimilate objects, okay? And if you think about it, atomically speaking, everything, when you burn it, all you're doing is you're breaking it into its original atoms. So eventually it'll go back to what it is, or the atoms still exist, we'll be able to compile it. So in theory, once we get into a position where we can really do this, we can basically take this together or separate as it's going through a conveyor belt, and we can like, incinerate or deatomize and then reatomize it into something else like I'm running out of things that I can easily touch. Part of this plastic. So you'll have to excuse. Here, how about this? So let's say you incinerate this or recycle this, and then you can create part of this. I wish I had sponsors, because it'd be like protein energy drink, but I don't have sponsors because I'm new. So whatever, fuck it. Here's the deal, man, and ladies, whomever is listening. The ultimate solution is to incinerate. So basically what that means is mankind is building things. We find stuff and then we build. We find stuff and we build. We find stuff and we make stuff. No problem. What needs to happen is once we are done with the thing, we need to destroy it. Find another thing, destroy it. And that's part of nature's circle, okay? Just always has been. So you have, whether it's a bunch of monkeys in the woods, you're going to have predators who kill those monkeys and eat them. Monkeys eat other things. It all balances out. But what mankind's doing is we're consuming, and then we're taking all this consumption that's used, and then we're just dumping it in the ground. And we're hoping Mother Nature will catch the fuck up. And yeah, Mother Nature might catch up in like 100, 1,000 years, but we're so impatient, we don't have the time for that. So we actually need to help Mother Nature out. We need to start taking all of our trash and like, cool, let's put it in the trash cans. Everything that as is now, okay? Put it in the trash cans, take it over to a special plant that's in a dome, that's controlled environment, okay? And you just put all the trash in there and you incinerate it. Okay, now people are like, oh my God, but the toxic waste, it's gonna go into the air, and it's gonna go over to Johnny's house, and then he's gonna die from inhalation of chemicals, and oh my God. No, he won't. What you need to do is have an enclosed space, and then all those chemicals that you're worried Johnny's gonna inhale, okay, they're gonna go into a filter. They're going to filter out part, filter out part, filter out part, filter out part. And then what you do is you take those filters out and you recycle. Oh, hey, we got a bunch of aluminum particles or a bunch of blah particles or a bunch of blah particles, whatever. And now you have the key component to what these chemicals are. So now you can be like, cool, we've taken this and millions others of these and we've recycled them down to their key atomic level. Now we can do shit with that. Now we can rebuild this in theory. Or, hey, fucking bury it. I don't care. I don't know either. I don't know beyond that. But really what we need to be doing is incinerating. And here's the fundamental reason also. It's not that we're going to run out of space. There's always going to be space. We could just dump it in the bottom of the ocean. Okay? Space isn't the issue. But fundamentally, helping Mother Nature recycle is an issue. Okay? So I appreciate that you have people who are like pro-recycle and other people who are like, fuck it, doesn't matter. I got it. In between, what you have is let's burn it. Okay? Which I think every pyro out there would agree. And every decent human being, once they really look at it, is like, why don't we do that? And here's another fundamental little key side note, a PS if you will. The reason why we don't incinerate is because we're worried about the cost versus value ratio. And the reason for that is because we are still operating off of gas-powered, coal-powered, electric-powered. Don't want to get too into the weeds, but believe me when I say that there has been technology around for at least 50 years that transcends everything that we have today. So if we as a people want more, all we have to do is say, hey, fuck, I want more. This is not enough. Your Tesla car is not enough. The new Dodge Challenger, whatever, not enough. I want more. I demand more. I demand better. And start saying that, start thinking it, and we'll get more, and we'll get better. And just think about every time you're throwing away trash, it's going into a dump somewhere. And it's going to take hundreds of years to decompose, which is the most ineffective way ever to recycle. So you have people who are like, I'm pro-recycling, and then they throw stuff in the trash. I do it myself. I get it. But just realize how stupid it is. And also realize, in the world of recycling, it's fucking asinine. If I get a pizza in a pizza box, the recycling container says, hey, do not put this in recycling. It's cardboard. It's cardboard with some pizza grease on it. Why can't this be recycled? But it can't. It can't. I don't know. It just can't be recycled. I don't understand. But that's the world that we live in. Okay. So only like super clean, exactly perfect things. But if we take that all out and we're just like, cool, here's the deal. Anything whatsoever, take this or a pizza box or anything else, we're just going to incinerate it. That is a good start at zero. And then from that point, we can develop the technology needed to start utilizing the resources that we get from that. And then kind of the world's our oyster. It's the kind of the beginning of this. Right now, we're just messing around. We're not really doing a good job. Once we start burning and incinerating, we're going to help Mother Earth tremendously. And honestly, to extend our welcome here, that's what we need to start doing. Anyways, love you guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Bye.